Hi, welcome to Vic and Vern Sports Chat. I'm Vern.
I'm Vic, and welcome to the Defcon Rugby Show. And it's going to be an interesting show today. If I read the chat, it's going to be a very interesting show.
There's a lot of people with a lot of opinions in the chat.
Yeah, well, it's like an asshole. Everybody has one.
That's true.
Yeah. Listen here, I'm just going to go straight into the chat. Sad butterfly there. Look, I'm trying to do everything to get the Leinster game. I'll let you know by Thursday's Defcon Rugby Show. I don't even know if we're going to do a Defcon Rugby Show on Thursday because the Rugby World Cup draw is on Thursday and there's a lot going on. But I'm trying to do that Harlequin. I think it's Harlequins against Leinster. So we'll try to do that game. But let's have a look at today's show. Look, I thought, put the picture out of the Rugby World Cup there in Australia. Draw is on Wednesday evening Australian time, Thursday morning European time. So it's going to be quite interesting to see that. Let's start off where we always start off with, and that is the topics quickly today. Put them out there. Springboks against Wales. We've got to talk about that. We've got to talk about Eben Etzebeth. Then, of course, URC Top 14 Premiership. We'll talk about a little bit about the sevens as well. The Rugby World Cup draw. So we've got a few things to talk about. Before we talk about anything, remember to like, subscribe, and hit that notification button. And if you want to get a hold of us, email's on top there. Check it out. Or it's running at the bottom as well at the screen. You know, we do everything double, so it's safe as hell. Then my big question for today is, and I'll put it out there right now, Vern, where are we on today's show? I'm actually going to take the background picture away for now. There we go. I'm going to do it like that today. It makes it easier for me. Where do you think we are on the Defcon scale, my friend?
Oh, I'm quite content today. I'd go with the Defcon 4, man.
You go the Defcon 4. Okay, well, I'll do whatever you say. So it is a Defcon 4 today.
The only thing that upset me was the Eben fiasco.
The Eben fiasco. Now that's putting it nicely. That is putting it nicely. But let's start off with something positive. We don't want to get straight into Eben. That is the World Cup draw coming up. If you guys can see that on the screen, that's how it would work. It's quite. I'm not always happy about it because if you win Pool A, you play against a third best team, right? But if you win, let's say, if you win Pool B, you play against a runner-up. So some guys are going to have a third-place team. Then you have some pools with two runners-ups play against each other. So it's going to be very interesting. Look. You could have the way the draw goes. You can actually have one side of the draw being absolutely monster, and the other side of the draw being quite weak. You know what I mean? But we'll see. That's coming up on Thursday. We'll let you know exactly what time that's coming out. It should be around about 10, 11 o'clock in the morning on Thursday. But let's start with all the controversies been this week. Come on. Let's start there. Let's start with this man. Old Eben Etzebeth and the red card that he got. What are your thoughts about this, Vern?
Well, that was a deserved red card. We don't even have to discuss that one. Listen here. Alvin wrote in there, he says, Boxer got a disciplinary problem.
I would agree if you look at the summer. If you look at this, you look at the last 2 months of rugby, we've been getting a lot of red cards and a lot of big suspensions.
Yes, like he said, a bunch of thugs. Jan-Hendrik Wessels, De Jager, Mostert, Eben, Jasper Visser. Yes, South Africa plays a very physical game, but I think this one, others weren't that bad, I thought. This one is bad.
This is for me for the worst red card that we received all year.
Yes, definitely.
And I think they're going to take, I'll take it here. Here it is. They're going to take the book and they're going to gooi it at Eben.
Yes, and you can't even fault them for it because it was really bad.
Time out quickly. Peter, thanks for that super chat, man. Or that super sticker.
Yes, Dennis as well. Dennis, thanks for the super chat as well, man.
Dean Cook says World Rugby more strict on the Springboks. As they should be. Because I think at the moment we are not doing ourselves any favors. I mean, we're not doing ourselves any favors. I mean, the Jasper Visser thing, then of course the Jan-Hendrik Wessels thing, where I thought He most probably did do something, but you couldn't prove it, and they still gave him all the games.
If you can't prove it,
I heard
you can't give it.
that the Welsh guy is also going to get banned. We'll see. My big problem with all of this is, and some people have mentioned it in the chat, why are we not hearing anything about what's happening to Tom Curry?
I don't know.
But I mean, this Eben one, there is no discussion. There's no mitigating circumstances. There's no, oh, he's a poor guy, or this or that. There's nothing. There's no, or the guy eye gouged him first, or kicked him in the nuts first, or whatever. There's no mitigation here. The pictures are clear. Let me show you once again. I can actually, I'm. There you go. Look at that. I mean, that is. If I'm the guy from Wales, right? I don't know if he was the guy that put his finger also with Eben, but if he didn't, I'm suing him privately. What would have happened if he had eye damage?
That would not be good. Yeah, it's something. Oh, it's a sad end to what was a phenomenal autumn tour.
It was a phenomenal game. The Welsh were not good. Let's be honest, but.
The only thing
yes, I think he's getting 6 months. I spoke to Dean on telephone. I think he might get 6 to 9 months. I don't think we see Eben play until next. He might be lucky to be back for the All Blacks test.
You know what makes me, what I don't understand is, why does he get banned for the Sharks?
Yes, I don't like that. I do not like the way World Rugby runs this crap, because you screw up at the Springboks in the last game of the year, and you're hurting the Sharks. Or let's just say next weekend, let's just say we'll take somebody, let's take Bongi. We take Bongi. Next week he plays in the Investor Cup, and he throws fisticuffs and he throws a few punches and he gets banned. He's only getting banned for the Sharks, which is correct because he did it during the Sharks. You shouldn't be banned for Springbok things when you've done it with your club. Club and country should be divided, in my eyes.
Like football.
Yeah, look, we'll see. We will see what happens. For me, everybody knows I love old Eben. Put him out there again with the red card. I love him and everything like that. Great player, great servant to South African rugby. But is there any excuse you can come up for this shit? There's no excuse. No. And I don't think World Rugby will give him an excuse,
Doesn't matter what somebody did before. It doesn't matter what he said. I just think when I see this, I think of Zinedine Zidane. Remember that headbutt?
Yes.
That really tarnished his career. I mean,
look, I spoke to Dean before. If he gets a 6 months ban or he gets a 1 year ban, right? It's actually a good thing for him. He'll be rested. His noggin is not right in any case with all the concussions he's been getting, right? So he'll be bloody well ready and rested, man. For the Shark, it's a terrible thing. I mean, if you're the Sharks, what are you doing now? Are you docking him wages?
I don't know how that works.
I actually think in rugby they're making a big mistake. They should be giving them long bans, but also financial. They should be saying, listen here, your Springbok pay, because your Springbok pay for the whole Autumn Internationals is gone to a charity or something like that. Because, let's look at the picture again. Listen, it doesn't look good. And he knows exactly what he's doing. Okay, well, there you go. But that's just, we'll see. It's going to be interesting to see what they come up with, It's going to be very interesting to see what they come up with. But let's talk a little bit about the game on Saturday. I'm just going to put the background picture up there of the World Cup for that. We won 73-0 against a Welsh team that wasn't good. I mean, we had people in the chat last week, not mentioning any names, Yamre, who said the Welsh are only going to lose by 10 points. They've got a fantastic team out there. Paul Ruiz Gymnasium would have beat Wales on the weekend. Wales are terrible, man.
No, it wasn't a shout out for Welsh rugby. But listen here, we knew it was coming. I didn't expect it to be that high and that one-sided.
I told you they were going to get hammered. The Welsh are dog shit.
Yes, we know that, but Vic 73-0. I mean, the Welsh.
They were lucky it wasn't 173-0.
Welsh are in trouble, man.
Lily B says it could affect some of his sponsorship deals. Yeah, normally it does, because companies will say, look, we don't want to be associated with that kind of violence. But let's move on. The internationals are gone. We did our big show yesterday. If you guys didn't watch it, you should. It was an interesting take on that show. But let's get into let's get into the URC and the games that were played on the weekend.
Ooh, yes, get into the URC.
Oh, that's a bad one.
Get into the URC.
Did you just read what Dean wrote? If Janre was half an inch brighter, you'd be an idiot. So let's start with the URC. There you go. I'll put it out there. I'm going to take the background away again. Can you read that?
I can, just about.
So give us the scores, man.
So I'll run through the scores again. Ulster beating Benetton 47-13. The Dragons losing to Leinster 10-24. The Bulls losing to the Lions. We're getting to that one later. 33-43. Zebra losing to Cardiff 14-29. Munster losing to the almighty Stormers 21-27. Holy moly, we're getting to that one afterwards as well. Edinburgh beating Ospreys there 19-17. Connacht hammering those Sharks 44-17. And a big surprise, as I mentioned this morning in the morning show, Scarlets of Wales beating the Warriors from Glasgow 23-0. I don't know what happened there. I've got to check out that highlight show.
No, look, it didn't look good for a lot of teams on the weekend. Look, a lot of teams are in trouble there in the URC. I mean, let's have a look at the table. I've split the table up today in the good, the bad, and the ugly. The good is on top. The Stormers on top of the league, ahead of the Cardiff Rugby. They've all played 6 games. Munster, look, Ulster's only had played 5 games. They win that game, they can move up into second spot. Then Leinster, Glasgow, Leinster, the Lions and the Bulls. So 3 of the South African teams are in the playoffs. Maybe the team everybody thought would have been in the playoffs is not in the playoffs. Let's add that to the bottom half of the table. Connacht, Edinburgh, all still in the hunt. And then it starts looking bad for Parma, Benetton, Ospreys, Sharks. Even the Scarlets have a game less. They win that. We could put the Sharks down to second last in the league. Eben will be missing now for a lot of weeks for the Sharks. So,
but Vic,
it's not good.
Does it really matter that Eben's missing because they're playing cuck with him?
No, but I mean, look, we do a lot of a South African perspective on this show. I mean, the Sharks and the Bulls have disappointed me this season. And I don't want to hear about Bulls B team or C team. The Stormers didn't have their A team. And the Lions didn't have their A team. The Bulls had about 5 times as many Springboks on that squad on Saturday than the Lions did. So the Bulls are fucking disgrace as well. But the biggest disgrace for me are the Sharks.
Yeah, well, we did that game, the Bulls against the Lions. The Lions started off really lively. It was an entertaining first half. The second half wasn't that entertaining for the first 30 minutes, but the last 10 was magic, man. And I must say, the Lions thoroughly deserved that win. Played wonderful. Johan Venter was
very good,
stunning. Was my man of the match on that one. Now the Lions deserve that one, and I hope the Lions now have recovered because I thought they were a bit shell-shocked from their Currie Cup defeat. I hope now they've got their rhythm and now they can push on from that one.
Listen, I just said Lily B, like me, says no excuses. Listen here.
No excuses.
If you want to make excuses going to politics, politicians come up with excuses all the fucking time. In sport, there are no excuses. You put out your best team, they put out the best team, and the best team wins. And the Bulls were packed. The Bulls have got the richest owner, the most money in South African sports. They've got the best squad. And then when they have 2 or 3 players missing, they cry me a river. No, fuck him.
But let's
Dean
get into
says
that.
Plumtree must F off. Which Plumtree?
But that's
the
what we've
coach.
been saying for a while.
There you go. Then let's have
something to say about that Munster against the Stormers. I mean, I was losing my nut here for about 50 minutes. The first 50 minutes there.
Well, what's new with you?
Had so many handling errors. They were dropping the ball. I mean, handling errors, in any case, a major problem for the South African sides on the weekend. And then suddenly it just clicked by the Stormers. Munster not concentrated, and the Stormers got 2 tries in there. It was lucky, man. It was lucky, but it was just a fantastic result. I mean, I was over the moon, but I could have gone the other way as well. So,
look, I think the Stormers in prime position now. Look, that they need another 3-4 wins, and then they're in the playoffs guaranteed already.
yes.
So I think the Stormers will just guaranteed the playoff spot. Let's go to the French league quickly, and I'll take the URC away at the bottom. Look, I got to take out one game there because we were talking about Eben and everything like that. But in that game, the bottom one there, Selection Paloise against La Rochelle, which ended 53-33, was the quickest red card in the history of rugby, I think. After 34 seconds, Antoine Hastoy got sent off because he thought he was fucking Bruce Lee, Pablo Aymar. He was big up and under, caught the ball, but he stuck his leg out straight into the other guy's face. The ref first only gave a penalty. Then the TMO had him on the ear. The ref looked at it and said, hell no, my friend. Red card, baby, red card. There you go, red card straight away for him. Gave him the red card there, bang. Coach of La Rochelle wasn't happy there either. He got a yellow. And then a little bit later in the game, the La Rochelle coach, which is Ronan O'Gara, got sent off. He's been sent off a few times, that coach. So we'll see, And yes, Rianre mentioned Dupont was back as well in the top 14. But I'll go through the top 14. You can go through the Gallagher Premiership afterwards. Montpellier did beat Bordeaux 28-24. That's a little bit of a surprise for me. Clermont beat Stade France 36-32. That must have been an exciting game. Then Bionnet and Lyon, tight one too, 22-20. Castres destroyed USA Perpignan 23-7. Toulouse beat US Montauban 54-28. Toulouse thrashed Racing 48-24. And Selection Paloise beat La Rochelle 53-33. Let's have a quick look at the table there. So it's Toulouse out in front.
High scoring games, I must say.
Yeah, Toulouse expectedly out in front there. Pau kind of surprising me in second. Toulon in third, no surprise. The big surprise for me is that Bordeaux's only in sixth. Normally Bordeaux is one of the top. So we'll see. And the South African teams in the Investor Cup. I think the Sharks, we have Bionnet. The Bulls have Bordeaux. And the Stormers have Montpellier, is it? Something like that. So it's basically South Africa against France. The Frenchies can talk about revenge again. But that the pathetic South African URC teams, and I call them pathetic because they didn't even want to play last year in this competition. Remember? Investing Cup last year, they just gave up on it, which I think is a disgrace.
They played players in that team that I haven't even heard of.
Yeah, there you go. So that's not right. Then we move on to the Gallagher Premiership. Vern, there you go. Knock yourself out.
Well, that Newcastle Red Bull losing to the Leicester Tigers 17-39. Red Bull Newcastle hasn't come out of the blocks yet, but I think they'll take a while till they get started, getting some new players in and stuff like that. It's going to take a while. Then we have the Sale Sharks losing to the Chiefs by 1 point there, 26-27 against the Exeter Chiefs.
That's the only Sharks at the moment. They can call themselves Sharks.
Gloucester beating Harlequins there 26-15. We had the Bristol Bears hammering the Northampton Saints 46-12. And Saracens losing to the champs Bath 29-36.
So I'll put out the table out there for you guys quickly there. Look, Newcastle still yet to score any points. They've not even got a bonus point. They've got nothing. They're at the bottom of the league. Bath on top, the reigning champions, ahead of Exeter, Northampton and Leicester Tigers, followed by the Bears and Saracen. Sale, Sharks and Harlequins, they're the ones that are surprisingly me not that doing so well. Saracen's normally a powerhouse as well. Gloucester, okay. And then, of course, the new team. Are they still called the Falcons? They're not called the Falcons anymore.
No, Newcastle Red Bull.
But on all rugby sites, they still have the logo of the Falcons and stuff.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I want to see how Buta Chamberlain is doing there at Newcastle. That would really interest me.
Oh yeah, Buta's playing for them. Yeah,
Buta Chamberlain. I want to see if I can get some highlights or something. I want to just see how he's doing, man.
We will, the minute the rugby, everything settles in, I'd like to do some Gallagher Premiership games as well,
Yes, you've got Thomas Totoy there in Bath. I mean, come on, there's some I'd
some
like to
good
see
people
Bath
there.
against Newcastle. I know it's the first against last, but I want to see how the boys are doing.
Well, Janre, yes, we'll bring up those games, but we don't bring them up today. We'll bring them up on our Thursday show. That's closer to, because there you go. And we've got other things to talk about today. Let's get into the sevens that was on the weekend.
Shouldn't he be in the fucking Bahamas?
Who? I don't know. No, that's a joke. You didn't go to the Bahamas. That's the mental home is called the Bahamas. There you go. So the women's sevens, I'll tell you quickly that the French came in seventh. They beat Great Britain 46-5. South Africa, why have I got the men and the women's mixed up there? I don't understand that. Then South Africa came in fifth spot with the men. They beat Spain 21-12. Fiji knocked off France 24-7, and New Zealand knocked off Australia in the final of the men's. Then I got women's, men's, all. Okay, they mixed it up at the top. Okay, don't worry. New Zealand won both. Both times it was Australia, New Zealand in the final, and New Zealand took both, the men and the women's. It was a good sevens weekend. Yeah, we're going to do some sevens maybe this week. I'm going to check it out, because the first game of the sevens weekend, which is in Cape Town, Janlu, you should go watch those games live if it's in Cape Town, man. Go get some interviews and stuff like that. South Africa, New Zealand is the first game of the weekend in sevens in South Africa's group, so that's going to be interesting. All Blacks against the Blitzbokke. Well, I don't know what the All Blacks call themselves in sevens, but yeah. Japan came in third for the women. It is unbelievable, man. Well done to them. They beat Fiji. So yeah, it's good. The sevens is interesting. It was the first, it was the first stop, which is in Dubai. This weekend it's in Cape Town. And we'll see. Janre's going on game 2 to the sevens. Okay, fantastic. So Janre, that's going to be cool, man. But that's kind of the show for today, man. I'm just waiting to see the news on old Eben, to see what ban he gets. Should come out tomorrow or Thursday, huh?
Yeah.
Tomorrow or Wednesday. But we'll see. But guys, good show today. Let's go quickly back to the poll. So how long should Eben be banned for? 56 people in the vote. It's representative. 57% of you say more than 7 games. 25% say between 5 and 7 games. And then 9% for 1 to 3 games, and 9% for 3 to 5 games. All right.
Yeah, but before we go, I just want to say thank you again to Dennis and to Peter for the super stickers. Always much appreciated.
All super stickers are very much appreciated. That was our thing. Our next show is the morning show tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock with moi. And then in the afternoon, we have the Premier League predictions, which will be out twice this week because there's a lot of football this week. And we'll enjoy. But to everybody out there, the Lily Bees, the Janlus, the Janrays, the Deans, the Ronnies, and all of you that are out there, thanks for joining, and we'll see you guys soon.
Ciao, guys.
Ciao.